Welcome, everybody, to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, episode number 175. And coming up on this one, the Leafs look to avoid a 4-game losing streak against the Sabres, who got the shit kicked out of them the night before. It does not happen. They lose 6-4. They've now lost 4 in a row. Auston Matthews, well, he has his third hat trick of the season. We're going to get into a little snot talk, and we got a couple segments tonight, just the tip and tip of the week. All this and more coming up on episode 175 of the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
Chad, on a night when we set the clocks back, wouldn't it be nice to step in a little time machine and take a little trip back ourselves to a time far, far away where the Leafs used to not be a bunch of pussies? Oh, goodness. Let's hit the intro.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round! Do you believe this? Holy mackerel!
Welcome, everybody, to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
Don't forget, you can follow us on social media at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter or X at the Tip In Pod. Email us tipinpodcast@gmail.com. Donate to us at patreon.com/the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast if you'd like. And now we're ticking and talking on TikTok at Tip In Podcast. Dale?
Yes, sir.
How's it going? How are you?
Yeah, all right, man. Like, look.
Are you okay?
Yeah, oh yeah, fuck, like no problem here. Just
All right.
same old, just same script, man. What did Steven Tyler once say?
Same old story, same old song and dance.
So where we're at, right? Like no one can be surprised by this. Like, look at 4-game losing streak, the way they're playing, and look, okay, right off the top,
Steven Tyler also once said, "If they have a dick, you go with it."
I'm not sure what that means, but
I have no idea either, but that's a Steven Tyler quote for you.
okay. Well, I can, okay, whatever. I'm not sure where to take that one, but I wouldn't.
You don't have to take it anywhere. I'm just giving you a Steven Tyler quote.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough, man. Look, last podcast after the Bruins lost in the shootout, after the Leafs lost to the Bruins 3-2 in a shootout, obviously the Liljegren thing, he's going to miss significant time, high ankle sprain. Sheldon Keefe said today, going to miss some time, man. We obviously knew that was the case, but like, I guess we didn't really cover. We didn't skim over it. We obviously touched on it and we talked about it, but we didn't spend a ton of time on it because I think both of us were like in the same mindset of like, well, yeah, that's what they do. Like, why would you expect anything else? Right.
Yeah. I know what you're getting at. Like sort of the retaliation. Where were they on that? And you brought it up to me and asked me about it. And that was my answer. It's like, well, I don't expect that anymore. And I heard this week on the radio, everybody's talking like, what are they doing? Like someone's got to go out there and do something. And I'm like, have you been watching the same team I've been watching for 5 years? They don't do that.
Maybe it's because of like the new additions the Tree Living has brought in. So people were expecting like guys like Domi and Bertuzzi and Reeves. Oh my God, more on Reeves again after this one. But like Klingberg, not him so much, but like Domi and Bertuzzi and Reeves, like they're only a couple guys, and Reeves is barely playing, and Bertuzzi's in the doghouse. I don't know what Domi's bringing you. So when it gets right down to it, and we're talking about the makeup, the DNA of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's Tavares, and it's Nylander, and it's Matthews, and it's Marner, the fuck are those guys gonna do? They've never done anything when it's like stand up for teammates, play physical, have a response to like a little fucking shit like Marchand, who's like just skating around freely after that play happened. Like Bertuzzi's laughing on the bench. Like, I guess you could take that out of context, but like, I don't know. Like to me, it was just like, I wasn't surprised by it. And that's why I didn't want to spend a ton of time on it last podcast, because I'm like, well, what the fuck what do you think these guys are? They are what they are. We've seen it year after year, game after game, important games in the playoffs when you want responses. They can't do it. They won't do it. They will beat you with their skill, which they tried to do again tonight. Obviously, this game wasn't close to the Boston game, but here we go again. If they can't beat you with their skill, they can't beat you. That's it. Is it not? Like, that is it.
Yeah, that's what we were getting at in the last podcast. That's why we kind of skimmed over it, is because they don't play that way. Like, we've never seen them play that way. And yeah, you can add pieces here and there, but let's be honest, man. Like, you got Bertuzzi on a 1-year deal. Domi's kind of new. Ryan Reeves barely plays, and there's only so many guys that Ryan Reeves can fight. Like, Brad Marchand's not going to fight Ryan Reeves. He's 3 times bigger than him. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Like,
but it's not about
any of the core. The guys.
It's not about fighting, though. It's not about fighting.
No, but it's about showing like emotion. And Brad Treliving's like, I'm bringing these guys in to add a little snot to the team or whatever. But you can stick things around it, but the top guys don't have any snot.
No.
Like, they don't give you anything in that category
when
you're playing.
Yeah, like, where's the snot? Not enough snot. Like, I kept hearing this after like last game, and I'm like I agree with all of those things. Like, where is it? There's not enough of it. Why don't they do it? I agree with all of those things, 100%.
We knew there wouldn't be.
How could you be sitting there as a Leafs fan thinking like, oh yeah, like, these guys are all of a sudden gonna just flick a switch here because Reeves and Bertuzzi are on the team? No, fuck no. Like, it's not gonna happen, people. So forget thinking that they're gonna play like that. And that's why this team probably will not win a Stanley Cup the way they're currently constructed. Because guess what? If they happen to ever fucking win the East, which is a stretch at this point, and you're facing Colorado, you're facing Vegas, good luck in a 7-game series. Like, good luck. You might be able to sneak by a Tampa or a Florida or potentially even a Boston. Really? Like, you might be able to beat some of those teams in a 7-game series. But I'm sorry, Colorado, Vegas, not a fucking chance. Not a chance. Not this group of guys on November 4th. Okay.
What do you think it is that it seems like all the time? Because Dubas did it too. He brought in Nola Chari. He brought in Ryan O'Reilly. He brought in Luke Shen.
Yeah.
And now we've brought in Bertuzzi, brought in Domi. They're always trying to bring in guys to toughen up this team. But what is it that when they get to Toronto, they're just like, Bertuzzi's not playing like he did in Boston and Detroit. He was like a shit disturber. He was always in there. He's not doing it. It seems like seems like when they get to Toronto, I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if it's, you're just following suit with the big boys on the team, but it seems like when they get here, nobody plays with snot anymore. Nobody plays with toughness anymore. Like, what's Domi doing? You're not doing anything. You might as well get into a fight.
Okay. I know. He doesn't have a goal. Like, 11 games in, doesn't have a goal. They addressed this. This is what, like, Tavares said, the team addressed it, and it won't happen again. Keith, yeah, right, okay. Keith said he hated everything about it, the lack of response, all this, wants the team to play harder and tighter and tougher. That's fine. So you can say all those things. And look, to be honest, when that play happened in the Boston game, the only guys on the bench that were even remotely interested in, like, getting involved, participating in some type of backlash or some type of like that, try that again and see what's up. You know what I mean? Simple shit. But like, you can say those things. Tavares can't say that on the bench because he's not going to fucking do anything about it. Matthews can't say that because he's not going to do anything about it. But like, Sheldon Keefe and Ryan Reeves were the only. Keefe was fucking pissed.
Keefe was losing it on the bench.
So, like, I don't want to go nuts on the coach here. Like, I think Keefe would like to. I don't think Keefe is like telling them, "Oh, don't do that." I think Keefe wants to see it. They just won't do it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's Sheldon Keefe. That's my personal. And look, I was in the summer. I would have been fine with them not bringing Keefe back. They made the decision to do it, but I don't think it's like Keefe that doesn't. I don't think he's the reason why they are a bunch of fucking pussies when it gets tough out there. Like, it's not Sheldon Keefe, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It definitely, in the Boston game, it didn't seem like it. It seemed like Keefe was ready to go over the bench and do something with Marchand.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's no way, Chad. There's no way Keefe is saying, don't engage. I don't want you to engage.
I don't think he's saying not engage, but I think their game plan that they have in place, the coaching style is we'll beat you on the scoreboard. Where Boston,
Yeah.
Boston has that in them. They play that style. Like when it gets chippy, they'll wear you down that way. Toronto can't do that.
No,
They cannot play that way.
And Keefe did say that too. He's like, talking about the Boston game again. He's like, well, look, Marner and Matthews, they got on the score sheet, got us back into the game. That's their way of how they do it. That's great. That's great. But you might want to add, like, McDavid and Draisaitl can do those things too. But guess what else they'll do? Someone takes a fucking dirty shot, or they don't like a way a hit went down, or a slew foot or something like that. They're gonna get in your fucking grill too. Like, they're not gonna. I always go back to like,
what's Mitch Marner gonna do in somebody's grill?
Just fucking just slap him. Slap somebody in the face. Take a penalty. Take a fucking. I don't care. Just show some emotion. I don't care what he does. Just do something other than nothing.
Would you say that doing something last game, even if it meant losing in regulation, not coming back and tying it, would have meant more than getting the point and
100% for team morale, and just like, we're not going to be pushed around again. Here we go again. Lack of response again. No grit again. Everybody laughing at us. We're the softest team in the league again. Of course.
Like, I'll ask you this. What's the identity of this team?
Like they're amongst their peers.
Yeah. So let's say you're a hockey guy, hockey, but you don't really follow this team. You watch a few games and then someone says, what's the identity of this team? How do you describe it?
Really good team, really good regular season team, skilled team, offensive threats all over the place, soft as fucking butter.
That's how
can't win when it counts. Never have been able to. Never fucking will.
So okay, and to break that down even more, how do you describe the bottom six on this team?
Invisible.
Does it like, what is it?
It's atrocious. It's the worst I've ever seen it. It's the worst I've ever seen it.
Is it defensive? No. Is it offensive? No. Is it gritty? Not really.
No, it's the worst I've ever seen it. It literally is the worst.
What is it?
I have no idea. There's no identity at all. It's patchwork to the maximum capacity. I have no idea. The bottom six is atrocious. I'll get into that. But Keefe also said not happy with Bertuzzi, but he thinks he's starting to come. Okay, well, look here.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah, well, no, more on that later. I got a tip for you. I got a nice tip for you later. Stay tuned for that.
All right.
But look, man, saying like he's not happy with Bertuzzi, but he thinks he's starting to come. Okay, well, guess what? He was benched in the third period against the Bruins the other night. So how, like, you think the guy's starting to come, but he's riding the pine in the entire third period? Like, come on. Like, it's like he's talking about both sides outside of, like, keeps talking out both sides of his mouth. If I could talk out of one side of my mouth. But anyway, but saying you're not happy with Bertuzzi, but he thinks he's starting to come. Okay, well, anyway, I don't know, man. I guess we can just end the whole snot and gritty conversation there, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even think that this team's ever going to, and like for Tavares to be like, we addressed it, closed door meeting or whatever happened. I guess that's what happened. It's so mind boggling. It's so crazy that a professional hockey team, you play in the NHL, you are a professional athlete in the National Hockey League, and you need to have a closed door meeting because you failed to recognize that, like, oh yeah, you might want to like act like a fucking team. Don't sit on the bench with your thumbs up your ass when one of your players gets fucking railed in the corner. Maybe somebody fucking do something. It's Marchand. It's not fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what is he? You could go over and fucking get in that guy's grill and like just whatever, take a dumb penalty. I don't care.
It's not like Marchand is the type of player that you would say, oh, it was an accident or whatever. Guy's been doing this his entire career.
It's just crazy. It's just the lack of I don't know. I don't like it. Like, I don't like the no response, not standing up for your teammates. I don't like it at all. Like, there's no part of me that likes it, but I just I've become accustomed to it because I've been watching this team, these guys, for so many years. The core here, throw Riley in, the top four forwards, like, soft. That's just what it is. Like, they have their moments in the playoffs where like they were able to get things done here and there, but the overall DNA, and everybody knows it, and they have to know that it themselves. But is it not kind of gross to be like, if I was a part of that, I would be like, there's just no way. Like, if I was Domi or I was Bertuzzi or whatever, the next shift on the ice, I would have been all over that fucking guy. All over him. So why can't these guys be like, think it's all good? Just, oh no, whatever. We'll beat you on the score sheet or forget it. Boston's leaving that game thinking, these guys, same fucking dudes. What a joke. Like, Are they not? Or did they not?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if they're saying fucking joke, but they definitely are saying, well, we know how to beat these guys.
Get physical.
Just get physical, rough them up a little bit, play a little dirty, and they're just going to go run and hide. And that's all it is. And just to wrap it up before we get into the Buffalo game, the thing that really kind of irks me about it is that the core is now in their prime. I get it when you're a rookie. I get it when you're young and maybe you're kind of intimidated by Brad Marchand or whatever. But you're one of the, like, Nylander, Marner, Matthews, Riley. You guys are now in your prime. You're the grown men, the best of this league. Like, fucking do something.
100%.
Get in there and do something.
Think it will ever change?
No, that's why last podcast, when you asked me about it, my answer was, this is just what I expected. Like, I saw Liljegren go down. I saw Marchand chirping the bench. I didn't think, other than Ryan Reeves, I didn't really think anybody was going to do anything. Like, I thought maybe Reeves might drop the gloves and that was it. Anyway.
Do you not think it's funny to have comments come out like today being like, we have addressed the situation and it won't happen again? Do you not find that absolutely
But
hilarious?
Again, I've heard that before.
I know. Like, it's just like, why would they even come out like, we've addressed the situation and it won't happen again? Okay.
Because
until it happens again, because it's clearly will happen again. Like, what do you imagine? Can you ever imagine Nylander, Tavares getting in there and being the first guy in, being like, what the fuck was that, bud? Like, let's go. Or
flip the script. And Domi, Slewfoot's a Boston player, into the corner and knocks him out with a serious injury.
Everybody on the ice for the Bruins, every single one of them.
I guarantee you,
one of them.
Everyone would be on him. There'd be a scrum. It'd be crazy. And I guarantee you, Domi would have had to face the music with somebody
100%
in that game.
100%. Anyway. All right, man. Whatever.
Anyway, so they lose at Boston. They have a team meeting. They're like, things are going to change. They come out and lose to the Buffalo Sabres. Things are getting pretty serious, man. I know we're just starting the season, but the standings, I mean, they're just a couple losses from being just above the Senators and second last in the division.
And you're giving, here we go. Like we talked last podcast about these next however many games, 4 games. 2 of them are in the books now, and they got a possible 1 of 4 points. You're giving up points to division teams. It's just going to make it harder for you to make the playoffs or have a good whatever. It's just they're making it harder on themselves, but they tend to do that. We'll see. Long way to go here still, but anyway, giving up points every night, and now that you're giving up points to teams in your own division, like it's not good. Joseph Woll gets the start in this hockey game. Surprised by that after Samsonov played so well the other night, or they both kind of, what did you think?
I was a little bit surprised, but then at the same time, I was like, after the dud that the team put forward against LA, I was like, okay, well, maybe Joseph Woll deserves a second chance after that one. Because let's face it, any goal that you put in that game was going to get shelled. Like there was no team in front of them playing.
Yep. What'd you think of his game tonight?
I thought he was fine. Like,
gave up 5.
He gave up 5, but god damn it, the Leafs defense is absolutely brutal.
I know. You imagine
breakaways.
You imagine playing net in front of that fucking defense. Like,
breakaways
seriously.
and breakdowns. And I'm sorry. We'll get it. I know we're going to get into it, but like Klingberg has either got to limit the minutes or take a seat in the press box for a night.
Well, I don't know how.
What's that? Did you do that?
No, I'm not doing that. I've never seen that before, man. That was awesome.
Did I say something?
I don't know. It was like,
okay, if you're listening to the podcast, we record this for YouTube, and whatever I said just said fireworks off in the background of my thing.
Must be a new feature there. I love that. That's great, man. I've never seen that before. I would like to see more of that. That was pretty cool. Anyway,
Klingberg needs to take a seat
in the press box. No, I don't know. That was just super weird. Who knows, man? Who knows? Anyway,
maybe we're being hacked.
Could be. Anyway, look, so Marner and Matthews score again here. They score all 4 goals.
Yeah.
But Marner opened the scoring and whatever. It was back and forth all night. That is the truth of the matter. Leafs give up a shorthand. I'm not going to go through everything here. Leafs give up a shorthanded goal in this game. Again, like the Leafs, Matthews had a hat trick. I'm going to get to that in a second. No secondary scoring again. The fourth line, like, I mean, how many podcasts can we talk about the second? You already mentioned it. Like, it's the same script. Matthew Nyes has 2 goals. Gregor has 1, and that is it from the bottom 6. 11 games in now, 3 goals from the bottom 6. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing. No, I don't know how you go forward without.
Here's some trivia for it. When's the last time someone in the bottom 6 scored a goal?
Nyes in the Tampa game, I think, wasn't it? On the road trip?
It was. I have it here. It was Bertuzzi.
In the bottom 6? Though?
Well, I'll say like someone other than the top 4.
Okay.
Was Bertuzzi in the 3rd period of the Dallas game in October 26. 11 periods ago.
Not good. And I don't even consider him in the bottom 6, but like,
yeah, you'd have to go even further back.
I hear what you're saying, but anyway, again, no secondary scoring. The top guys got all the goals, but it still wasn't enough. The fourth line, though, the Leafs do score to tie it in the second period, 2-2. Sheldon Keefe decides, good decision, to put the fourth line on the ice the very next shift, right after Matthews just scored to tie it at 2. And they give up a goal, obviously. Reeves gets beat big time because he can't fucking skate. This guy's bringing you nothing.
I know.
A couple of hits a night, great. Like, sorry, take a seat. It's time to switch up the lines. They've just lost 4 games in a row. You've got Robertson and McMahon and the Marlies. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who you bring up. Just bring up somebody with some speed and it can possibly pop one in the back of the fucking net. Switch it up. If that, like, they've lost 4 in a row, is now not, like, you got to switch something up here, right? Like, you have to.
Well, you would think now would be the time. I think the time would have been maybe 3 games ago. I mean, it's been pretty evident all season. I like what Ryan Reeves brings and everything, but it's pretty evident you can't play him on a regular basis.
You can't like what he's bringing right now.
Well, he's not playing. Like, he's just a dead weight.
Because they can't play him. Like, I don't know what is going on in Keith's mind that he's like, we just tied the game 2-2. I'm going to put my fourth line on the ice next shift. What the fuck is that? Like,
maybe trying to build their confidence or something. I don't know.
Not the time to do it. In a 2-2 game when you just crawled back into it, not the time, man. I'm sorry. They give up a goal. They give up a goal. Anyway, I'm in favor of changing the lines. Like, I've got some lines in mind that I would like to go to. I won't hit it tonight, but I do want to get into it. Just some thoughts on what I would do with the lineup going forward. In one of the next couple podcasts, we will for sure. Anyway, Matthews ties it again early in the 3rd to make it 3-3, his second goal of the game. Still not enough. Sabres come right back to take the lead again, 4-3. Oh, about the only positive of the night, folks, right here is here we go. They get cooking and they take their first lead of the night. And Chad, this is it. I mean, yeah, a little sour podcast. They did lose, but I mean, tip's a tip. Got to do it right here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Just a Tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
How about we play a little game called Just a Tip?
All right. So basically, we're just going to break down a tipping goal.
It's 4-3 Sabres at this time. And this is the highlight of the night. This is it, man. Gio lets it rip from the point. Just a tip. Auston Matthews right off his shaft. He's trying to get something cooking. I appreciate the effort out there, Matthews. Like, at least he's trying to get it going. His 3rd hat trick of the season, his 11th goal of the season, ties the game at 4. Hey, man, just a tip. I mean, losing effort, still a tip. And it was a hat trick tip, too. And I'm starting to think here, okay, like, now, like, you know, here we go.
We're going to win this.
Yes, of course, man. Of course. I'm thinking that. But not meant to be, but still, right off the shaft. More on a little shaft work later, talking about when we get back into the clocks here. But listen to this. Anyway, so that was it for that. Good, like, tip's a tip. Shaft, when this guy's tipping it in for the hat trick, his 11th goal, his 11th goal this season.
It was a sneaky tip because like it was a hat-trick goal, but nobody threw their hats on the ice. That's how sneaky this tip was.
There were a few I saw out there.
A couple, but like nobody really knew if he had tipped it. That's a sneaky tip.
He knew. I'll tell you that.
He knew.
Anyway, that tip in ties it at 4. Sabres come right back again to take a 5-4 lead. They add an empty netter, win it 6-4. The Leafs have now dropped 4 games in a row. The Tampa Bay Lightning will be in town, I believe, on Tuesday night. So, yay.
They just kicked the shit out of the Montreal Canadiens tonight.
Oh my God, man. Look, like this could turn ugly real quick. Like this could turn ugly quick. Like they can't start like 5-6 games in a row. You go to Sweden, you lose both. Like Keith could be gone by the 2 weeks. Like it could be. That's
it's
the
not
next bullet.
It's not even Keith's fault.
No, I kind of feel bad for Sheldon because he's looking up and down that bench. He's like, well, fuck, who am I? Okay, Mitch and Austin, go again. Really,
I know. Go. Yeah, that's what he does. He's like Mitch and Austin, and then JT and Willie. And then when things are really tight, it's Mitch, Austin, and Willie all go at the same time. And then sometimes he'll even throw Mitch on the point and throw JT up and forward, and he'll have all 4 of them out on the ice. And other than that, he's got nothing. Well, man, you can't expect Matthews to score a hat trick every time you need a win.
No, but they kind of are.
That's kind of how they're playing right now. Kind of
are. Fuck, man. If 34 doesn't bury 3, we're not going to win. He's burying 3 and they're still not winning. So what the fuck does that tell you? But no, Keith's looking up and down that bench. He's like, I can't play these guys. You guys got to go again. Just go back out there. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. Anyway, Chad, we don't have to go too much longer here, whatever. I do have, for the first time, I promised it last podcast or last weekend, whatever, when we did Red Line Diaries, that I was going to have a tip of the week for the first time this season. We got a little new intro and all that. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we go, or do you want me to just give my tip of the week and we'll bounce out of here on Saturday evening?
I am so looking forward to your tip of the week. Let's hear it.
So nothing else?
Sure, all the listeners. No, I mean, we could get deeper into the Buffalo game, but the fact of the matter is they lost another one. And I'll just wrap up what I think is the defense needs a lot of work. Like it's on tree living. You've got to do something right now. You've got to either bring guys up from the Marlies, which I know you're doing on the D, and some of them looked okay.
Ugh, dude.
But you need to make a trade. A trade has to happen. You need to shore up the defense.
Big time.
It's just you cannot be giving up this many fucking goals all the time. No, and it's not on Wall or Samsonov. It's so ugly to watch them in their own end. It is crazy. Anyway, I'm so looking forward to it. All our listeners are listening forward to Dale's tip of the week. It's been a long time since we've had one. Let's hear it.
All right. How you doing? Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right? Not to worry. There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. It's out at the Moon Tower. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
All right. Well, you should lose the zeros and get with me.
That was the next line. You need a rad?
You need a rad?
That was the next part of it, but I wanted to keep it a little.
You know what I love about these high school girls?
Yeah, and those redheads. I love them redheads, man.
I love them redheads.
All right, so I thought I'd get. It's been a while since we've heard of McConaughey. He used to be a staple on the tip.
We had him on the show a couple years ago.
He used to be part of the intro. We did that. What a man! We might have to bring back. We might have to find that and just replay it for everybody, or maybe just try to get him back on again. Who the hell knows? But anyway, he's back. He's got the darts rolled up in the sleeve. Back in his Dazed and Confused days. Love that. So here it is, folks. Tonight's the night where unfortunately, I don't like this time of year because it starts to get dark a lot earlier. And I mentioned off the top about setting the clocks back. We like to talk a little bit here about tonight. You got to whip it. You got to whip it back. You got to grab your clock and you got to whip it back an hour tonight.
Yep.
I'm talking old school clocks, your phones, digital, all that. That just does it on your own, on its own for you. That's no fun. You got to take the clock off the wall and you got to whip that baby back an hour. That's not the tip, but that just has to. I'm setting it up here. So here it is.
Don't forget to swing your clock.
So the tip of the week here, folks, is apparently some may know this about this. Chad, you may or may not. I'm a little caught off guard by this. There's a little thing cooking around here called, we're into the month of November now, first week of November. There's a little thing cooking around called No Nut November. Heard of this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no, is this a yearly thing, No Nut November? Because I'm not familiar with No Nut November.
This is like a big thing that guys sign on to.
Do you want Sorry, guys, we had a little glitch there towards the end. We had to reset. I'm just going to go right into the tip now. So here it is, Chad. No Nut November. This is the big thing. Some people are hyping this up all about, like, basically don't ejaculate. Don't ejaculate for the entire month of November. Just build it up, build it up. Apparently it can create like superhero powers if you just hold your ejaculation for the entire month of November. Well, I have to say, here's the tip, folks. I call bullshit on that. I say fuck No Nut November, especially the way this hockey team's playing right now. If you're a fan of these guys, feel free to bust loads all month long. Forget about No Nut November, and you keep popping loads out all month long. There's the tip of the week, Chad. What do you think about that?
I like it. Although I'm going to try to do No Nut November. Anyway, for the Tippin' Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on social media at the Tippin' Maple Leafs podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Tippin' Pod on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok at Tippin' Podcast. And until next time, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And we will.
Guys, look, we'll check in at the end of the month and we'll see if Chad has got superhero powers. We'll see if his superhero powers start growing and growing and growing as the month of November continues.
I might make it to 11:30.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's No Nut November. I already lost yesterday. Forget about it. It's already game twice, 2 times yesterday for me. It's game over. Forget No Nut November, guys. Just start pumping loads left and right all over the place. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll be back Tuesday night after Tampa Bay to see if the Leafs can stop their 4-game slide. Yeah, see if the Leafs can stop their 4-game slide and get back in the winning column. Oh, brother, what a adventure. It always is with this team. Always an adventure. We'll catch you later.